What's going on, guys? Alex here, back at you with another episode of How To. Today's How To is how to take a feed neck that screws into the body of a gun off without using tools and wrenches and messing up the feed neck. So usually, like for example, this is the die clamping feed neck. Any feed necks that have a piece that screws into the body of the gun. So if I just go ahead and take this this collar off this feed neck, you'll see that this piece physically screws into the body of the gun. Some guns, like Eclipse guns or the axe, actually the axe is a little bit weird. Eclipse guns, for example, just have the whole feed neck that just clips onto a piece of the body that's actually flared up, so it's all one part, and you just unscrew it and you'll be able to take the Eclipse feed neck off, just like I took this piece off of the actual feed neck on this this reflex rail. So that's really handy. Even with the Empire axe, this is almost pretty much the same thing. It does have the axe and the mini have a piece that screws into the body, and then have a piece that clamps, has like a collar that clamps to that piece to get to clamp down on your loader. So usually those are so tied in there with either Loctite or something that a lot of people just resort to taking a wrench and just cranking the thing, and it scars everything up and it messes it up. It kills everything. So I'm going to show you how to get this out with a loader instead of a wrench. Loaders with really thick kind of feed necks, really what you want. Spires, for example, the feed neck is too thin, so you really can't clamp down on it like you need to. I think rotors are really perfect for it. Halos, I don't know if I'd try a halo just because the feed neck, the body, the shell would actually probably crack. I think rotors are the best for this. I'm sure there's some other loaders out there that'd be fine too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this collar back on. I'm going to put my rotor on the gun, just so like as I was putting it on to go play. And now, if I just turn the rotor a little sideways, what we're going to do is I'm going to really just crank down on the tightening aspect of this feed neck. And you really want to make it as tight as you possibly can without knowing, without damaging the component. So if I crank down on it and make it really tight, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to put a little bit of force into it, and you're going to turn it so that it comes undone from the body, just like that. So at this point, you can undo that feed neck, and I know that appeared like it came off really simple. We've never done it on this gun. I've never done it on this particular reflex rail before. So that was in there just like it was from the factory. So now I can just go ahead and take my rotor out. At this point, I can take the collar off, undo that a little bit so the collar comes right out. Take the collar off, and now I can simply, by hand, nice and easy, take the feed neck off the gun. And there you have it. This is really particularly useful for if some of these fingers on the feed neck break, so it's not clamping properly, it's not holding on to your loader. If something snaps and the feed neck's broken, so you need to take it out so you can replace it. This is probably hitting home really hard with guys with minis and axes and stuff like that. This is a really bad problem. That's why Empire retails a replacement feed neck system, just like the one that's coming on the Mini GS now standard. It's the same one that comes on the Vanquish. That's right here. That's right just out of the frame. The Sniper and the Resurrection Autococker. It's a much better system. It works. It still has some issues here and there, but it's a lot better than the stock ones that were coming with them. So that's what that's useful for. I want to keep this video nice and quick. How to put it back on once you have your new feed neck. We're going to do just basically the reverse of the process. You take your feed neck start it into the gun. I'm going to go down until it stops, so it's going to stop, and then I'm just going to come out like a turn, maybe two. I'm going to go ahead and put the collar back on. I'm going to tighten it back up. And I'm going to put my loader back on. So at this point, you might want to use a dab or two of blue Loctite. Don't want to use red Loctite, you want to use blue Loctite. Don't use super glue. Loctite is what you want to use if you don't plan on ever taking the Feedneck off again. Or you can just go by pressure alone. So now that my loader is back on, I'm going to clamp this back down. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a nice swift. I'm not going to go too hard. I don't want to completely strip it out. But basically what I'm going to do is just give it a nice quick, pressured turn, and it'll be seated right in there just like normal. Get that going, and nice and solid. At this point, I can go ahead and take my loader out, and that's nice and firm in there, and it's not going anywhere. That's also definitely a solution if your feed neck is coming loose on your gun. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the feed neck's coming unscrewed from the body or something like that. What you can do is either take it completely off, put some new Loctite on there, and put it back on, and then do that same deal. Put your loader in it, and that's going to be really your means of having something to grip onto to torque it in there, instead of trying to do it, just with your hands and repping your hand up or something like that. It gives you some leverage to really, make it tight. So there you go. Nice and quick and simple how to replace your feed neck or tighten it back up, something like that, without the use of tools and destroying your gun. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.